Hi friends, the new season of Apex Legends is upon us, and that means there's a new meta for season 21. So let's look at what's going on in the legend meta, the ranked meta, and the weapon meta. Let's start with the legend meta. It's an easy one. Everyone is playing Alter. Don't take my word for it. Look at the pick rates. She's a long way ahead of second place, at almost 5% behind Alter. Now I'm a big fan of Alter. I really like her abilities. Obviously you know I'm a Loba main, so the fact you can grab loot with Alter's passive, and you've also got some movement in and around obstacles, I think just works really well, and I'm finding Alter a lot of fun. Now to go with this Alter meta that she's creating, there is a bit of a movement meta this season as well. If you look at the top 8, you can see 7 out of those top 8 most picked legends have some form of boost to their movement or speed. In fact, Lifeline is the only one there that doesn't have any movement or speed based ability. And I do think it's an interesting one that Lifeline is here, especially given solos is the most popular mode right now, and Lifeline doesn't have that much utility in solos compared to some of the other legends, because if you think about it, her current kit is more catered towards team play modes. However, since she's had her upgrades improved, her kit is generally just useful for a team, so I think trios and ranked is driving much of this Lifeline pick rate. I also have a feeling people are preempting her possible rework, which is coming potentially next season or the season after. Now just going back to Alter for a moment, unlike a lot of new legends in previous seasons, I do think Alter's going to stick around the top 5. Sure, she might not stay number 1 for the whole season, but I think we can see her sticking around a little bit longer. People are actually saying that Alter is OP, and I feel like the devs might agree with that, so don't be surprised if you see a nerf to her soon. I'm thinking potentially her tactical is the most likely thing that's going to get a nerf. In terms of other legend meta, you can clearly see Bloodhound is the main scanning legend now. There isn't a massive scanning meta, but a lot of people are kind of sticking with Bloodhound, and that's thanks to all the nerfs Seer has had in recent seasons. And yes, he still is bottom of the pick rate. A big rip to you Seer mains. So that's kind of how the legend meta is shaping up this season. Let's have a look at the weapon meta next. It's another easy one. The Havoc seems to be ruling the weapon meta right now. It's not had any particular buff or nerf this season, but if you watched the ALGS LAN tournaments last week, you would have seen a lot of the pros using the Havoc. A good few games I even saw Timmy rocking the Havoc and the Hemlock, which is an interesting combo, and one you wouldn't normally see a player use in Apex Legends, because you wouldn't necessarily carry 2 assault rifles. However, a lot of people are carrying the Havoc and kind of using it as a replacement for an SMG or a shotgun due to its fast fire rate. And if I show you the stats from that ALGS LAN tournament, which was the Split 1 tournament, a very big tournament with a big prize pot, you can see just how effective the Havoc was. It had the most kills out of any weapon, and the second most used behind the Hemlock by all the pros in the tournament. And the reason I'm showing this to you is because often what happens in the pro meta influences the new season, and that's kind of what's happening with the Havoc in season 21. Certainly if you play solos, you should be seeing a lot of people using the Havoc, and that's got to give you a good idea of which weapon you might want to start thinking about picking up more. Now I hate to give people ideas, but a Rev ult with the Havoc is extremely toxic in season 21, and that should be a big enough sign that the Havoc is the meta weapon so far this season. Also, with Storm Point being taken out for the start of season 21, there's less of a marksman meta, so maybe avoid the marksman weapons for now. You kind of want to be looking for those assault rifles, the SMGs and the shotguns. Those are the go-to weapons in the meta this season. The Hemlock's still very strong, and if you can hit your shots with a Peacekeeper, that seems to be the go-to shotgun this season. Also in terms of SMGs, the Volt is the go-to SMG in general, and if we look at the ALGS stats, you can see the pros have heavily relied on the Volt, a lot of kills and heavy usage of the Volt, and again, a lot of that's carried over to the game with the launch of season 21. So that's an idea of the weapon meta right now. Remember, the digi threats were removed from the game, so if you're wondering why you haven't found one this season, that's exactly the reason. So that's the weapon meta. Let's finally move on to the ranked meta. To be honest, I haven't played much ranked, but we do have some pick rates we can use to help us understand what the ranked meta is looking like. Of course, everyone was reset to bronze this season, so you may have encountered a few sweaty lobbies early on. Don't worry though, a lot of those good players have started ranking up already, and I played a few games for the first time this season yesterday, and they were very easy, just like bronze lobbies should be. So I'd recommend not leaving it too late. Within the next couple of weeks seems to be a good time to get through bronze and silver before it starts becoming sweaty again, because closer to mid-season you'll start getting smurfs, and all those predators and masters players that are bored will start going on their alternate accounts, and bronze will become very sweaty once again in a few months' time. In terms of pick rate, we can have a look at the diamond and above stats for pick rates of legends, just to give us an idea of what higher level players are thinking about for ranked. You can see Pathfinder, Horizon, and surprisingly Revenant are up there in the pick rates. I'd say there's a lot of team utility amongst these legends though, and that kind of makes sense because higher ranked players do think about team and legend utility. In terms of the playstyle for ranked this season, not much has changed in the points, and I do feel like people are being a little bit more aggressive in ranked. If you missed the update last season, the summary is you do need good placement, but you also now need good kills. Placement points when you get to plat and above just don't help you alone, meaning you will need some kills. Having said that, there is also a cap on kills in terms of if you get more than 6 KP, you start losing half their value. So it's about earning KP when you can, but also hitting those higher placements. And therefore I'm finding people looking for kills a little bit more than perhaps they did in season 17, 18 and 19. But I'm certainly finding when people do get KP, then they do start thinking about placements. So certainly when you get closer to the end game, you maybe want to slow down your play. Of course, that doesn't apply for bronze because you don't really lose anything. And certainly when you get to platinum, diamond, masters and predator, that's when strategic thinking and team play becomes a little bit more important. And there you have it. That is what the Apex Legends Season 21 meta is looking like early on in this season. Share your experience in the comments down below. I'm really interested to see how you've been facing the meta so far this season in Apex Legends. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.